Good afternoon, Tom Ginn, G-Force Tuesday. G is for gratitude. And gratitude, I believe, is one of the most powerful words that you can incorporate in your life. And it negates negativity. It alters our perspective. It makes us even more healthy. It brings happiness and joy in our life. Even when we have difficulties and understand the power of gratitude, how it shifts our thinking. In today's lesson, I'll be covering how journaling works and how the neurochemistry, by using the principles of gratitude and the science behind gratitude and how it rewires your mind. So I'll be covering that today. But I've got a surprise on here today, and I'm going to bring on Phil Pinto. Hey, Phil, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Tom. Thank you for having me on.
Yes, you're a guest today to announce you're a participant in our Science of Success. I want to bring this slide overlay, and I'm going to put down below how people can register with us, and I'll let you go right here. So go ahead, Phil, share with you a little bit about yourself and what's happening on Thursday and what role you're playing in our 2-hour Science of Success series.
Sure. So I'm Phil Pinto, the co-owner of Pinto Leadership Solutions, and I'm an executive coach that works with C-suite executives and those looking to get into the C-suite to help them become the leaders that people want to work with. And what really excites me about this event that we're going to have on Thursday and tomorrow is that consistent success does not happen by accident. There truly is a science to it. The portion that I'm going to deliver is all about leading yourself through conscious leadership, which is leadership that really is not blinded by the worry, guilt. And I'll be going over the AAA strategy that I use to help my clients be most successful in achieving the goals that they want. And that really is just taking into account awareness, action, and accountability. I won't go too far into it today because I know we're going a little bit slow, I think,
right. Give them a little bit of sauce to get them intrigued. So, but anyway, yeah, it's going to be a dynamic 2 hours, right? 2 hours, yes, interactive. There's a cost to attend. It's only $37. I like to put that out there. So, but here's something really exciting is that we're also providing nearly $800 of bonus resources and one-on-one discovery sessions, and each one of us is going to have different offerings. And the lineup, I'm going to bring it back up here again, and it will just show you who's coming on. Of course, I'll be on, and I'll be talking specifically. I'll cover that here in a minute. Chris Natsky, Nikki Gangemi, and of course Phil, which we just introduced today. And each one of us is going to have very specific topics that all interweave to show you how the science of success works and incorporating these principles in life and in business. It's not just about business principles. Would you agree, Phil?
Absolutely. I think everything that we're talking about, Tom, covers every aspect of your life.
Yeah. And, I have just recently come to know you, and I'm excited to be part of this group and the team and the tribe we're creating and the series that we'll be putting out in the future. So this is our launch, and we just encourage everybody to, the registration link is below right there. That'll give you all the details, how to register, and some more videos as well, Phil. So with that, Phil, I know you're on a hard stop. You got things to do. You're welcome to stay on for my next 5 to 10 minute segment here. But anything else you want to leave with the audience?
No, sir, nothing other than, hey, I look forward to seeing everybody there. If you haven't signed up, you should sign up. I think it's an amazing event, and the group that Tom has really put together, he led this charge, I think is absolutely amazing. And we're going to provide you some tips and strategies that will really help you accelerate your life.
Thank you, Phil. We're excited. I'm excited to know you as a coach, and grateful you're part of this team and the tribe we're creating. And there's no doubt that we're going to help people better understand the principles of success, the science. And, so with that all said, thank you for coming on, my friend.
All right. I appreciate it. I'll hang out for a couple of minutes and then I will have to drop.
Wonderful. You're welcome to stay live with me if you like. So that's good. What I like to do today, one of the principles that I'm working out of, as I study these principles, growth is a process. Growth and success take work. And developing gratitude takes work. And there's a lot of things that we just take for granted in the concept of gratitude. I'm so grateful that a mother made a sacrifice, but it goes deeper than that. In some of the principles I talked about that I'm learning is in this book, Gratitude Works by Robert A. Emmons. And we've been talking about the power of writing and journaling and what that does, and how to look at gratitude in a different perspective. And yesterday I covered some principles about novelty, excitement seekers, people that are willing to take risks, everything from, maybe jumping out of an airplane or scuba diving or going into business, things that really excite you. That was yesterday's message, is because when we recognize that and go back to it, it brings up those feelings of excitement, positivity, negates fear, and lots of things. So gratitude goes beyond just, I'm so grateful for my cup of coffee today. And so today's what I'm going to just do really briefly. It goes deep into the research and some of those things that science is supporting, how gratitude works. And that's not what I want to talk about. I really want to talk about a very specific thing in the book today that, as I learn, I start seeing how it's working in my life. And as a coach, and Phil, you'd probably agree with this, as we learn, our journey never ends, does it?
Well, hopefully not, because if so, I think, Tom, it means we're no longer here, sir.
Exactly. That, yeah. So as I say, one of the things I talk about, Phil, is that being grateful, the most important thing, I believe this is the best day of my life. This moment, I'm so grateful for this moment, you being here, because there's no guarantee for the future. How do we make the best of this moment in all circumstances? And it changes perspective. The little point here is, does gratitude journaling change the brain? It does. The neurochemistry rewiring, and when we understand how that works and the dopamines and the chemical reactions when we go to a place of gratitude, how that stimulates a feeling, it stimulates the vision of what we experienced and gives us a euphoric, happy, well-being place in anything. And so the research is really just showing that what's happening in the brain, and we think in pictures and it brings back those visual images. And the more we can bring them back in a positive place, it actually rewires the neurochemistry in our mind. And the science is showing that. And they've done a lot of studies and tracking that. And I'm not a neuroscientist, but I trust that they're doing the research there. And see what it does when we get to a state of gratitude, it's releasing hormones into our system that gives us that euphoric feeling, dopamine. And science, so a lot of people say, well, gee, if I can just take a dose of dopamine, a pill or a shot in my arm, why don't I just do that? It doesn't work that way. The way our chemical cells work and all that, it's released in the brain and it's a process. So you can't just take a dopamine, ingest it anyway and get that effect. So this is what I really like to talk about is just notice what you notice with gratitude. And that's how you build that part of who you are. Because I believe gratitude is part of that science of success. It has changed how I deal with issues. It has changed my clients, how they look at just this one it sounds simplistic, gratitude. We take it for granted. But when we really understand it, we can see, we're emotional creatures. Would you agree, Phil?
Absolutely. They drive our actions.
Exactly. So if we can get in control of those emotions instead of reacting, we are now in control. And gratitude is a very powerful concept. And then just woo-woo, as I say, it really has some scientific principles. So for those that are out there, I highly recommend that you get this book by Robert A. Emmons, Gratitude Works. And it is enlightening, and it really brings things into perspective. And journaling, I understand the power of the pen. This is where your genius, this is where everything changes in life, is those that journal change. Those that don't write don't change. I call this your genius factor, is the pen and how it works and rewires. So it's just one thing to be grateful and think about it, but the writing process of being clear and writing in detail what you're grateful for, what the process is. Like the other day, I shared, Phil, with, we go to a coffee shop and we walk in, we go with a heart of gratitude, and I'm so grateful for the cup of coffee. It goes beyond that. Let's take a look at how that person delivered it to and be grateful. What did that person do to get the coffee to? All the aspects. It changes our depth of gratitude. And one of our colleagues who jumped on, and she says, be grateful all the way back to the coffee grower. Because there's a process to deliver that experience. That person had to get up early, drive through traffic, maybe had to drive through a snowstorm, had to deal with a negative customer before he delivered to you. So we have to be grateful for everything. If we think about that in our relationship with people, it changes the depth of our gratitude. And that's where we start impacting ourselves, and we can start impacting other people in a different way. So that is my lesson today. I could have gone deeper and deeper on that. It was too much science for me. So I stay on the concept side, Phil. So anything you want to say, Phil?
I do. And one, look, I'm going to preface this with, I didn't know what Tom was going to talk about when I got on today. However, I use gratitude journals with my executive clients. I use gratitude journals with my entrepreneurial clients. It's so important. And here's the thing that really impacted me, I guess. When you start thinking about recreating those neural pathways in your brain, and like you, Tom, I'm not that guy that's a scientist. However, I like pictures. And the way I picture it, it's winter, so we'll use the example of snow. You can walk across the snow once and you'll leave some footprints. But the more and more you walk across that snow, next thing you know, you leave a path. Gratitude works that same way. You have to continually do it to make it a habit. And what happens is it shifts our minds away from thinking about the negative things. So then we're living at the effect of life. And it shifts it over to living at the cause of life. Or we've become now the cause of life when we can think positive more often. And who doesn't want to reduce stress and live more powerfully? So that's my take on it. I love the topic. I haven't read that book. Now I'm going to, but it's a game changer.
Yeah. And, Phil, you being working at executive levels, lots of times you've probably seen this, and I know I've seen it. is journal. My wife journals. I don't journal, or they have some misconception of what journaling is really about. How do you get through just that? What's the one thing you share with them to get them out of that uh, myth thinking they've got about what journaling is?
Well, Tom, look, I advertise myself as a coach that'll hug you and kick your butt at the same time. So I kind of come into it like this: how is what you're doing working for you?
Yeah.
And if it was working great, they wouldn't be hiring me. So how would you be willing, or would you be willing to try something on for just a couple of days? And the process that I use really is, I call it the top three things exercise, where I just want them to write throughout the day the top three things that's going well for them.
Yes.
And for some, that might just be I got out of bed, right? I made it. But I want them to do it and then update their list. And then at the end of the day, they keep writing it down. Because as you mentioned, that kinesthetic transfer. But that's it. Once they do it for a day, then they're hooked. They're like, okay, I'm sold.
Yeah. One thing, and I'll let you go into this, is the thing that blew me away. There is a world record of journaling on gratitude. 18,256 days consecutively, one new thing of gratitude, just one, no duplication. I would believe that the person does it has a much greater sense of what gratitude is, how it's affecting their life and affecting other people's lives. Would you agree?
Yes. And another great resource is the book Think Like a Monk by Jay Shetty.
Yeah.
He talks a little bit about that in there as well. But that's a massive number, Tom. I honestly, I would have never guessed.
It's 50 years when you calculate it. Never missed a day, never duplicated a gratitude thought.
That's
But we have
powerful.
infinite things to be grateful for, right?
Yeah.
Infinite amount of things. I'm looking right now at a picture. I could really dive deep into that gratitude of that picture. We have infinite supply of things we can be grateful for. And I'm on my journey now to set my own world record. Now, I don't have 50 more years, so I'm not going to break that one. But I'm putting myself to new challenges, doing my gratitude, working with this format, and doing those things on a daily basis, and it's changing me. And it's those that I work with and coach, when they exercise these principles, there are some physical and manifesting results that they see in their beliefs, their attitudes, their actions, and everything else. So, well, Phil, I know you got to run, and I'm just going to close out my intro for Friday's guest. And I'm so excited about Thursday and hearing your teaching with that. Come prepared with a pen and pencil, excuse me. I believe in the concept a long memory is not as good as a short pencil. So come involved, share this out, and Phil, we'll see you on Thursday.
All right. Thank you again, Tom. I appreciate it. And I'll see everybody on Thursday.
You got it. Hey, thanks
All
for
right.
your feedback. Great insight. I appreciate it, my friend.
All right. Bye.
Phil Pinto. Yeah, he's one of our panelists. You're going to come away with some insights and perspectives that they didn't invent any of this. They're just taking the wisdom of the past and applied it and to deliver their message in a very specific way to impact people's lives. So, but before I forget, I'm going to bring this back up. Gratitude does work. I'm just one phone call away, an email. If you ever want to have a discovery session or ask questions about gratitude and what I do as a coach, feel free to reach out to me, message me. I'd be glad to have some conversation around that. But Friday, I just want to here's the Science of Success, and here's the registration again, tickering below to register for share it out with your audience out there. But Friday's guest is, hey, Robert, how you doing, buddy? just I hope you were on. Check into Rob Phil out. He's going to be on our event on Thursday. Hope you're making that. But on Friday's guest, I'm bringing in is the new normal guru. The new normal guru, Dan Altmire, the new guru, the new normal guru. And he's going to come in and he's going to share with you how to what's happening. How do you change from what complacency and what we've been accustomed to doing the same thing over and over again? He's going to bring in a brand new perspective of how to transition what's going on. So I'm really excited to have him in on Friday. That's 2 p.m. Eastern. 2 p.m. Eastern. So turn on your notifications. And again, I'm so grateful, Robert. Let's see. Yep, the event's getting close. And thank you very much, Robert, for participating. Hey, share it out to your tribe. It's going to be a fun event, an informative event, and a transformational event. There's no doubt in my mind. So, with that all said, I am signing out. Everybody have a great day.